Okay, so to start my video off here, the arteries are in red, and the veins, the deep ones, are in the dark blue, and the superficial are in the light blue. So to start, we'll start at the heart for the arteries, and coming down out of the aorta, you have the common hepatic artery, and these are all these really tiny ones right here. The splenic artery, renal arteries, superior mesenteric arteries, gonadal arteries, inferior mesenteric arteries. So the renal arteries come off and into the kidneys, and then that drains into the common iliac artery that connects to the internal and external iliac arteries. And this is the deep femoral artery, which is connected to the femoral artery. And when you go down more, you get to the popliteal artery, which splits off into 3 branches. The top one being the anterior tibial artery, the middle being the fibular artery, and then this one on the back here is the posterior tibial artery, and that drains into the dorsal pedal artery, which gives the blood supply to the feet and the toes. And then coming out of the top right here, for this part, let's see, you have the subclavian artery coming out here down to the axillary artery, and this comes off as the subscapular artery. And then that drains into this radiocollateral artery, which leads to the deep brachial artery. And then coming off on the other side, you have the superior ulnar collateral, and then the brachial artery in the middle. And then when you come down here, you have the radial artery, and then the interosseous arteries and the ulnar artery over here, and then the palmar arches. And then up here for the head and neck, you have the common carotid artery, the internal carotid artery, the external carotid artery, facial arteries, and the superficial temporal artery. Now for veins, we'll start down here at the foot first. Oop, go back into focus. Sorry, I don't know why my phone's doing that. But to start, you have the dorsal venous arch, which is superficial. And that leads to the great saphenous vein and the small saphenous vein. And all of this comes out of the inferior vena cava. So, and then to start for the, goes into the vena cava. But then to do our deep veins down here, you have the anterior tibial veins, the popliteal vein, femoral vein, deep femoral vein, common iliac vein, the internal iliac vein, and then the renal veins going into the kidneys, and then below that you have the gonadal vein, and then that'll go up and you'll get the hepatic vein, and it'll go into the inferior vena cava. Now to start with the arm, you have your venous palmar arches, then your radial veins, ulnar veins, median cubital vein here, which connects to the basilic and the cephalic vein going, I don't know why I can't, there we go, okay. Median cubital vein here, going up to the basilic and the cephalic vein, and then you got the brachial veins in the middle, and so you'll go up here, and then that'll go in the superior vena cava. And then up at the head, you have your internal and external jugular veins, which is